Hey, are you teaching full time and still needing to make some extra cash? Today we're going to talk about weekend side hustles that you can do on a teacher's schedule. I'm Eileen from Teach with ND, and I'm going to give you some options that you can consider for side hustles that won't burn you out. Of course, everybody's different, so take what works for you and tweak it to fit your needs. But here we go. So with weekend side hustles, obviously you want it to be able to fit into your weekend and not, you know, bleed into the rest of your week, so to speak. You want something that doesn't require tons of extra prep because, hello, we all know that you don't have time or energy to do any of that. Um, you want it to be something that you could do alone or in short time blocks, like not something that you have to schedule way out in advance or um, get complicated with scheduling. And then it would be a bonus if it reused some of your teacher training, teacher experience, teacher skills, right? So you could think about Saturday morning tutoring sessions, test prep. Um, you you could consider selling digital resources and using a Sunday, for example, to batch your products. You could do virtual assistant work and only work, on the weekend, a couple hours on Saturday or Sunday, and sort somebody's email inbox. Pet sitting sounds like a lot of fun, and it could be something that you could, if you're walking dogs, for example, even gets you outside, gets you a little bit of exercise, which is always nice. You could also get a freelance writing job, editing job that you could do from home to help support an education website, something like super duper part-time. And of course, driving gigs are probably one of the easiest ones to get into, and will get you, the most bang for your buck. Uh, you know, per hour, you're likely to make good money. It depends on the shift that you're working, of course, but that is one that, you could definitely do on the weekend. So before you pick one, you want to think about how much time and energy do you realistically have on the weekend? And it's, totally understandable if you don't have time or energy, um, because being a teacher is extremely exhausting and hard in a lot of ways. Um, but if you do have a little bit of time and at least a little bit of energy to devote to a side hustle on the weekend, you can also think about how fast do you need your cash. Um, the benefit to something like a driving gig, like DoorDash, for example, is that you get paid, right away, which is nice. Um, and then, of course, it also depends on how much you want to have to deal with people after being in such a people-facing role as teaching. Um, so there's just something to think about. Like driving gigs, on the one hand, you're not really having to deal with that many people. But on the other hand, you do still want to, please the customer and do a good job by them. So just something to think about. So, if you'd like some help deciding, I'm going to link below to my free side hustle starter map for teachers, which will walk you through some of these questions and help you kind of pick a general direction that you want to start off in. And then whenever you do pick one, just, give it a few tries. Don't just write it off if it doesn't work the first time. Um, test it out for maybe a month or so. And then you can make your decision about if it's something you want to continue with or not. But I hope this gives you some ideas to think about, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.